check out the new bodybuilding champion of this year's Olympia, which is the biggest award in the bodybuilding category, Ramon Dino. He defeated Ignacio Tachare. He was the winner over there in the United States. This award is truly monumental. Arnold Schwarzenegger, just so you know, my friends, has already won this award. Now we have a Brazilian, which makes us proud. Just imagine the training they have to go through, what they have to do to reach this level here. At this level. The guy often has to give up a lot of things in his personal life in order to train, to be able to get there. Okay, he won a substantial prize, thousands of dollars. What did he do that made Ignacio and all these people, you can include Janja and so on, that's less money for them to spend. He managed to get around the situation. And not a single cent will go into the pockets of those opportunists on duty who want to take everything that belongs to Brazilians. We're going to tell this whole story here. The bodybuilding champion, Ramon Dino. He really pulled a fast one on Ignacio. I'm not going to show it here. Take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel, come be part of our family, hit that like button. It helps us get more engagement on the platform. We can see that our country has a lot of things wrong. When a guy like this, they say the press treats us like bloggers, like criminals, just because we like Bolsonaro. Now, this guy here who voted for Lula, campaigned for Lula, was arrested this week, right? Influencer gets arrested. Influencer, for the press, they're influencers, right? In a police operation and all, the guy, he ended up committing several barbarities, atrocities, right? Check this out. Influencer Buzera, who celebrated Bolsonaro's arrest, is arrested in a federal police operation against international trafficking. See how things are. I always say here, right has become wrong and wrong has become right. This guy here was celebrating Bolsonaro's arrest. He campaigned for Lula, never misses a chance, never misses one. And now they arrested him for drug trafficking. Let's see how long he'll stay, right? How long he'll stay in jail. How long, right? We know how things work here. Bolsonarist lifetime in jail. No dictatorship here, right? But things are happening. Everything that's happening here in our country is totally normal. This image shows it very well. The biggest bodybuilding tournament in the world. Today, a Brazilian is the champion, right? Ramon Dino, he came here to Brazil, right? He arrived in Brazil just a few days ago, fire department and all. But there were few people on the streets, right? Now, when you see a character like that guy Oruan, when he got out of jail, look, there is something very wrong in our country, my friends. They're trying, right? They're pushing this narrative that what's right has become wrong and what's wrong has become right. This just can't be happening. We have the greatest champion, a role model for kids, a role model for young people, showing that sports are worth it. Here's a guy who promotes barbaric, absurd things. Look how he's welcomed after leaving jail. Yeah. That's what it's come to in our country. Congrats to Dino and Oruan, right? For God's sake. And here's the so-called influencer Guzera who was arrested by the police. Look at that, in a Ferrari, right? Just so you have an idea, right? People were...
Several people.
It was at a Ferrari meet, right? The owners, you know? He wanted to join them, but they wouldn't let him.
He was stopped from entering the Ferrari event. At the time, it wasn't possible to understand why he was.
He was turned away because the guys who really own Ferraris, the big shots, my friends, they wouldn't want to be at an event with a guy like that, right? Man, there are so many things happening in our country, but let's get to the good news. Here is Dino and his wife, right? What happened against Lula was very good, very good. Dino will not bring the Mr. Olympia prize money to Brazil due to the high taxes charged. 151,000 reais was deposited in the United States. Look, it's him and his wife, right? Congratulations to Dino, a great athlete. The victory of Ramon Dino at Mr. Olympia, one of the most prestigious bodybuilding competitions in the world. Winning is tough, my friends. It was historic. Speaking of bodybuilding, I want to send a big hug to Sardinia, Professor Sardinia. He's also a bodybuilder. He's a follower of our channel. Sardinia, it's an honor to have you here as our follower. Sardinia, an honor. You have no idea how happy I was when you became part of our family. Aren't we happy, friends? As athletes, it's great to have another athlete with us. It was historic and the result of much effort and dedication. The Brazilian athlete won a dollar. 100,000 prize, about 550,000 reais. What should have been a celebration became a tax dilemma. In a comment on social media, Ramon Dino's wife explained that due to the high tax burden in Brazil, the prize will be withheld in the United States. Yeah, Lula and Janja, you won't be able to get your hands on the champion's money. According to her, if the amount were transferred to Brazil, the athlete would have to pay 151,000 reais. In taxes, 151,000 reais. Can you imagine? The guy gives his all to win a competition, earns 500,000 reais. In an honest way, not in a political way, in an honest way. And leave 150,000 reais in Lula's pocket. Man, it must be, oh my God, can you imagine? You give your money, your sweat, your blood. You give 150,000 to Lula and Janja to travel, to show off, to maintain that pantry in their palace, costing 500,000 reais with the most expensive things available for their taste. This is really frustrating. It's simple. Don't bring it here. We've already paid taxes in the United States. It would be stupid to bring the money here and pay twice. Because we travel often and have international sponsorship, we leave the money abroad to earn interest. Ramon's wife here did the right thing. The decision reignites the debate about taxing international prizes and the income of Brazilians abroad, which often leads athletes and high-performance professionals to keep their earnings outside the country. The case highlights a contradiction faced by Brazilian athletes. Even though they represent the country in international competitions and bring Brazil's name to the podium, they end up unable to fully enjoy their financial achievements due to the complexity and burden of the national tax system. Bolsonaro exempted several athletes when they were champions, even that. Because, for example, the guy goes there, he worked hard, Dino here, he won 550,000. Guys, it's better to just leave the money there. Just leave it there. Since he's an international champion, right? An international name for sure. There are several investors, like his wife said, to be able to help him financially. Yeah, to make sure that this amount, this large amount is invested abroad. 1,000 times better to leave it there. Can you imagine having to work to support Belego? How frustrating must that be? An athlete, someone who dedicated himself to the fullest. The guy came here, a great champion, a great champion. It's a source of pride. And that had to be celebrated. The guy is a source of pride for our people, for our country. Winning an award like this isn't easy.
The champion has arrived! 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 The champion has arrived!
Congratulations, congratulations. If it were someone like Buzeiro, someone like Oruam, it would definitely be overlooked. But the champion here, huh?
The one who persists, even with less than ideal conditions. But
man, what an example, what an example. An example for the youth, an example for all the kids, right? It's that sports save lives. Sports, I say, my friends, are often the foundation for great champions. Look, that's cool, man. That's cool, that's cool. And even cooler, Ramon Dino is a Mengo fan. Knowing that Lula won't get Ramon's money, go work, man. Go work and stop wanting what belongs to others, man. Look at the boy here years ago. He was like this. He didn't even go to the gym yet. He won the championship by dieting on rice and eggs bought on credit because he couldn't afford them. It's amazing that he's now #1 in his field. Check out what people are saying here. That he didn't have money for rice and eggs. Those foods really help build muscle mass. And he bought them on credit. And now he becomes a great international champion. An award that Arnold Schwarzenegger has. Man, that's so cool. I'm really happy to see examples like that. It's inspiring for young people to fight for and pursue their dreams. That they can make it. That they can imagine the struggles he went through to get to the level he's at now. In that shape. Then the guy works hard, fights, goes after his dream and wins. And he has to hand over clean money for that. Because for these guys here, everything is easy, right? Everything is perfect, right? For these guys here. And look at the examples. These are Lula supporters, Partido dos Trabalhadores supporters, supporters of all this filth we see. It's ridiculous. Arrested now? Arrested now. It's outrageous. Yeah. He used to go on Bolsonaro, and it was in such a complicated situation, they'll obviously hire the best lawyer in Brazil. Sooner or later, we'll still see them mocking the face of Brazilian society. But above all, great Ramon Dino. Congratulations to him. Congratulations to his family, to his wife. It seems she's also a very successful bodybuilder, right? Just by her style, you can already tell, right? Very cool, right? And still, let Lula tax Janja at the worst. There won't be any money for you guys to show off. No, slackers, go work. That's good for you. Imagine the guy working like this just to pay for Janja's benefits. Paying for 10, 15, 100-star hotels for Ignacio and Janja. We're the ones paying for his honeymoon. It's unbelievable, right? It's unbelievable. Unbelievable, my God. Share this video, hit that like button, smash it so more and more people can see it. Join our family here on the Paise Filhos channel.